What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Slackers, and today I wanted to look at the idea of potential stages. And I thought this would be a really fun idea because last week we did discuss alternate skins. So why not look at some other things in other areas that could be coming to the game, such as stages. So, yeah, let's just jump into it. Oh, yeah, right before I begin, feel free to leave any of your own comments, your own ideas for stages you would like to see in this game as well. And feel free to get creative because I might have one, maybe two on here that might be a little outside the box, but I think it still fits with the game. So let's start off with good old Fairy World. I mean, okay, this should be, or most likely would be, on most people's list anyway, but look, Fairy World is such an iconic location in the Fairly Odd Parents, and having this not as the stage would be, I don't know, a little underwhelming, a little being maybe a tiny bit of a letdown, but then again, it all depends on how the stage is played out, right? So Fairy World, you got the city, you got the clouds hanging around, you got Rainbow Bridge, you got what about even putting in the big wand antenna thing, right? You could have that as a part of the stage. Maybe it pops up at one point during the stage. Maybe it's just in the background, but the idea of showing the different spots in the stage, or just like I said, getting the wand involved as a part of the stage would be a really fun idea. So yeah, there's my first one. Secondly, let's go to the Rugrats IP, their series here for a second. Anybody remember this episode, Ice Cream Mountain, where Stu and the other dude, I forget his name, but they go mini golfing, and then all the kids they want ice cream, and they see Ice Cream Mountain. Now the entire stage itself could just be Ice Cream Mountain, or maybe you have the stage, but maybe the main part of the stage does include Ice Cream Mountain, whatever it is. So it will have a couple different layers or levels to it, so you can kind of keep climbing up and up, or it would just be kind of, I don't know, fun to witness in the background. Maybe you could see a couple of the other Rugrats that might not make it playable in the game. They might be climbing over Ice Cream Mountain. And again, you got to remember the episode did feature around mini golf. So what else was in the mini golf episode? What about the windmill that lifts Chucky up? Well, and then he gets to finally say, "Hey, look, I do see Ice Cream Mountain. It is real." So what if you get the windmill a part of it as well, right? It could just be actually part of the stage. We've had that in Smash Bros. With a few things. So the windmill itself would be, a rotating kind of platform type of idea. So it could be a fun idea just to, if Rugrats gets a stage that's, not Reptar themed, I think this one was the first thing that popped into my mind. Third idea I have is going to be Madtown Skate Park from the Rocket Power series. Now, I'll be honest, I really, really would love to see at least one playable rep from Rocket Power. But if they don't get a rep, why not at least get a stage, right? I don't think that's off the table. If you don't get a character, who's to say you can't get a stage? So what about the skate park itself? It does have that big half pipe in there, so that could be a part of the stage. That could be even maybe the background. You could actually have skaters back there doing some tricks, whatever it might be. But it would kind of bring like a cool little nostalgic vibe to a stage, and it's got that sporty vibe as well. So kind of definitely it would set itself apart from anything else we see on the roster. So I don't know, just a little bit of Rocket Power representation, whether it's playable or in this case a stage, would be fine with me. Now let's move over to Jimmy Neutron, and the first thing that pops into my head, of course, if Jimmy does become playable, what about Jimmy's lab, right? That would, I think, make a lot of sense, because you could do a lot of stuff there, right? There's some room to work around. It's a fun place, It could be a big flat area. There could be a couple inventions laying around. Maybe you could interact with one of the tables, for example, it's a big flat stage, but you got a table in the middle, so it's kind of like a raised elevated platform a little bit. They do have the walkway above, so maybe that could be like the top part of the stage, so it gives it an extra sort of layer. And of course, it'd be a platform you could drop through. So, Jimmy's lab does come to mind. But another one from the Jimmy Neutron series that comes to mind for me, Retroland. I mean, come on, this one just stands out, right? This would be so incredibly fun, right? So if anybody that's played Smash Bros, you will know the idea or the stages where they rotate, or they're like a fly-through type of stage, right? So not Metroid, but Mute City from F-Zero comes to mind, where you kind of like stop at one spot, and then a few seconds into the match, then it kind of like picks up and shifts to another part of the map. Dragon Quest Hero had that when his DLC came out. So what about a stage like that? And this would be perfect for Retroland, right? You can make your way. It's kind of like a tour of the theme park itself. You can start by going through the entrance, and then you can make your way over to, say, the vomitorium. You can see that in the background. Maybe a couple of the kids getting splashed or puked on, whatever. So, and then you got like what? They got that eyeball ride. You can see that in the background. Maybe that's actually part of the stage where it'd be a stage hazard. The eyeball will come flying through. I think it's a roller coaster, right? But either way, the eyeball will come flying through, and you got to try to dodge that. So, it just gives it, a feel like we actually do get to take that tour of a theme park, and I think that would be pretty special. Now, another series that I'm not too sure will get a playable rep, I would love to see Manny or El Tigre in this case, but what about kind of the same idea for, like I said, with Rocket Power? If they don't get a playable character, at least what about a stage? So, Miracle City. Now, let's be honest, if you've seen the show, there are many locations in this city. So if you wanted to go simple, you could just have the stage kind of, itself. It would be sitting in front of something like the jailhouse. Maybe you got a few cactuses in the background. You got like the bar, the tavern. You got the swinging doors or something like that. You could get there. But one of the most iconic parts of Miracle City is definitely the volcano. So maybe the volcano itself could be the stage. Maybe you just get the volcano in the background. Maybe it does erupt, and maybe that could end up becoming a stage hazard, something like that. Just an idea for another series that may not get a playable rep, but at least a stage would be a cool nod to the series. And now, last but not least, I think this one might be a bit. No, not might. It is a bit out of the box. But what about a Nickelodeon slime stage? You know how they have their award show thing, whatever that is called? But okay, so hear me out here. The stage itself, just a flat stage. You got a couple green slime tubes, whatever, that come shooting out with the slime. Like, look, as a part of Nickelodeon's history, a lot of people will think, all right, I need to get slimed, right? So why not have like a stage that celebrates that, right? You get, again, stage hazards would have to be a thing here, but you get the stage. You got the green slime falling down at random points on the competitors, whatever it might be. So maybe it slows them down a little bit. Maybe it has no impact. It's just kind of like an added, a visual effect. So maybe it doesn't affect the gameplay. Just, your character gets covered in green slime. It'd be a fun, cool nod to Nickelodeon's one of their biggest things that they're tied to in history, right? So those are a few stages that I have listed. Again, there's many others. Fairly Odd Parent. Somebody will say, what about Doug Dimmadome? You could have the Dimmadome. Sure. I'm just saying, here's a few different ideas. And again, feel free to leave your ideas down in the comment section. But that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed as always. And I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.